All we do is interview small business owners for 7 minutes, 21 seconds, because July 21st is our anniversary.
Wow.
They have the questions in advance. They send us the questions back with their answers.
Yeah.
And what we're doing in that is we are training them to be on podcasts. Because we know if we talk for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes at a time, and you don't get to feel like you're having
a conversation.
Yeah. Then that sucks for you. You're doing this because you want to learn, and you're learning from us this time.
Yeah.
But we've designed it so that once they've been on our podcast, they can now find you and say, hey, I'd like to be on your podcast. By the way, here's some questions you can ask me and the answers, so you can see that it's going to be a conversation.
Awesome. Welcome back to another episode of the CVMK Show. This is the best podcast show on the planet because I'm the best podcast host. If you're wondering, you say, Cody, man, you bundled up. You got a sweater on, you got a scarf. What you doing? It's because I'm freezing in Chicago and I got the heat on 80 and I'm still cold because I'm battling the flu. But I'm going to keep it rocking because we don't stop for nothing, for no one. We have an amazing episode. We have Sharon and Hank Yuloof. It's going down. They're talking about small business coaches. They've helped so many businesses. They've authored 8 books, over 400 episodes of podcast episodes they've appeared in. I have to pick their brain because I want to know, as a entrepreneur, leader, and as a small business owner myself, I need to get the secrets to the sauce, right? But we can't do this without you guys. You guys make the show possible. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for subscribing. But I want you to tell your friends, tell your foes, your enemies, your neighbors, any and all the above. The CVMK Show is where you want to subscribe to on YouTube at CVMK. Follow us on social media, CVMK Global, and it is what it is _show. All you got to do is put it in. If you see the bear, now obviously the CVMK Global is for the supplements because we can't do anything, right? When you own a supplement line without the pre-workout superpower at www.cvmkglobal.store. But when we return, and we shall return, I promise you, we will be back with the one. Well, I don't say the one, the only. There are a couple there. Hey, 2 of them, right? I almost messed that one up. With Sharon and Hank Yuloof after this. What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Awesome.
You know, I'm gonna give you your first business tip and coaching tip. Okay. Never do your podcast while you're sick. We've
never done that.
Well, maybe I wouldn't tell you I'm on narcotics right now, but hey, we're doing great.
Hey,
what are you taking, Cody? What are you on?
No, for medicine, I'm a NyQuil guy.
Yeah, baby.
It's only one for me. I'm looking forward to it.
My dad was a pharmacist. Better living through chemistry. Yeah, baby.
Well, look, I'm super excited to have both of you on. Thank you for reaching out. I apologize. I meant to get everything, and I've said this, like, usually I'm on top of it. I'm like, Johnny on the spot, but this has been the week of sleep for me. So
tell you what, if you want, you can just go sleep. Sharon and I are used to this. We could just do a show. We'll just pick one of our books, pick a chapter, and we'll just talk about it. And y'all can come back in an hour, and we're all good.
We could.
We actually did that once. We were on a guy's podcast. He was based in Dallas, and he was on the same radio station that we were on. Yeah. And his internet connection went out, and because we shared an engineer, she just put us up, and we ran his show. And he finally got in like 40 minutes later. I was like, we're good, man. Whatever you want. So if you want to take a nap, let the NyQuil just do it. We'll just call it the marketing checklist, and we'll just go from here.
I love it. Look, I might have to take you up on that offer, depending on how I feel in the next 5 minutes. But super excited, like I said, to have you guys on. First of all, I want to start here. I believe in the importance of coaching. Because no matter what you've studied or what school you matriculated through, real world experience trumps all. And going through the ebbs and flows of business you need sometimes somebody, if it's not to hold your hand, is to make sure you don't, drive the car off the road, right? So let's start here.
Wow.
Why?
When you're tired of making all the mistakes, right? You have a coach that has already made some of those mistakes. You don't have to make them.
I'll share this with you. My family was one of those families that, at Thanksgiving, you go around the table and say, how are things going?
Yeah.
What are you thankful for? And I'm shortening this. We do a marketing boot camp. You get to hear the whole story, but the short version is, it was my turn, and my mom said, well, how's work? And I got to share the trials and tribulations. And she said, well, what would it take for you to start your own business doing the same thing? And I gave her an answer. At the time I needed a fax machine because the one I had belonged to the company I was a manager.
They might not know what a
fax machine. For those of you young, when we used to transfer paper from one place to another, we didn't have email. So we used to send it through this magical box and it would print at the other end. Anyway, she looked at my dad, said, write him a check, and 2 weeks later, business got started. Now, after I was starting the business, and it was one of putting logos on stuff, I came from the promotional product world, and I started going back to all of my old clients, and I told them, what I was doing. I started my own company, and they said, that's great. How can I help you get, move your business forward? And I go, you've never asked me that before. They said, before you were working for somebody else, you've taken the leap, which shows me you're now ready. How can I help you? And I heard that story over and over and over again from clients. I didn't lose any of them. They were all very supportive. And that taught me and for Sharon and I, when we meet somebody that wants to take that leap, we try and be as helpful as we can. We do a lot of webinars for SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives. And most of the people that go through SCORE are wantrepreneurs at that point. They're dipping their toe in to see what they need to make that jump into their own business. So we end up talking to a whole lot of them. And sometimes they're ready and sometimes they're not. Yeah. And it's okay. You don't have to be ready yet.
We often coach to stay at your current job until your side hustle is bringing in enough income that you can then let this go. Right? It's like a teeter totter, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to jump full into the deep end.
My mom didn't say that. She quit, start your own. So, okay, Mom, no problem.
No, I agree. I think
my first business coach was my mom. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that, when you're bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, right? I think you do have to look at your own spreadsheet for your house and look at what you can and cannot do and how much money you think you can raise.
You're right. Look, at the time, Sharon still had a gig.
Yeah.
We didn't start in the business together at the beginning.
Right.
There was things like health insurance.
Right.
And she was
401k.
Yeah. So, but in the first years of my business, we were doing okay because I went back into an industry I knew already. So it wasn't like I was starting at zero. I had 10 years of experience in it. But Sharon was awesome. She had the benefits thing. So that leveling into it for us was much faster because, there was still a paycheck.
And there's two of us.
If there are. And then about 13 years ago, it got to a point of, we had to rescue Sharon out of entertainment. It was just, bosses that didn't, they were mean.
Yeah.
And in that industry, you get a lot of self-importance that Sharon.
Entitlement.
That's the word. Good job.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is my brain. I'll miss the word. She's got it. And it was like, it really sucked because she would come home. She was working late hours and she wasn't appreciated. And I had a client that needed her particular skills at the moment. I said, well, let's test this out. So for us, it just evolved. And a lot of you that are watching Cody and you listen to every one of his episodes, which you should be.
Appreciate that.
You're hearing a lot of us talking to you, I'm sure. And And it's okay to ease yourself into your business. Put money aside. The number one challenge, Cody, you probably hear this from a lot of people. The number one challenge for new businesses is being capitalized right.
That's the biggest challenge. That's 95% of it. You get enough capital, you can sell boo-boo if you wanted to, you know.
You know, we saw there's a restaurant in our town, and the God love them, they're going into it, but they've been around almost a year. They still don't have a sign. The old business sign is still above their business.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, okay, what shortcuts are they taking in their restaurant?
Yeah.
So, you know, and if it takes an extra year to put the money aside, all right, well, do it.
You're going to be a year older anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I think the vulnerabilities of starting a business. So I think about, you know, my wife and I first started CVMK. I just wanted to create supplements that I felt like were going to benefit people. I was not a NBA player. I've never scored an NFL touchdown. I don't know Michael Jordan.
You're not 6'3", 205, and
right. Yeah. So I didn't come with a celebrity like, you know, influence, and but I just had a vision. I said, I believe this is an industry if it had the right people and personalities and thought leadership could transform, because I feel that health and wellness is going to be the driving force going forward. Like, it's going to be an industry that is undeniable. People want to feel well. They want to look better. They want to feel better all the time. Right. So how do we capitalize on this? But I didn't realize, you know, what that meant, the regulations, how much the label cost. I joke. I said, look, UPC, a barcode will cost you $50, right? You know, just to register one product.
Every time we do it.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, it's more than what you think when you start getting into it. It's like the thing kind of, it goes from here to here to here, and then.
And you have to have all of the tests on your products to make sure they are pure and clean, because
you don't want a recall,
and you don't want to get sued, and you want all of the backup information. And it's really important, and that stuff takes time, money, effort, more money.
Yeah, more money.
It's really competitive.
And then you have to get, if you're not doing it online, if you want to get retail, you've got to buy shelf space.
You do. No, literally, you do. You have to buy your way in.
Did you know that when you started?
I did. I thought somebody was going to say, hey, I love it. I would love to have you at Jewelosco.
I'm just going to clear all this out and put you there. No. Yeah.
So what should be the mindset when somebody comes into it and says, I think I could be a millionaire in 3 years or 2 years? What should you tell them?
Don't let anyone talk you out of your dream.
Okay.
Be realistic with your dream. You know, I think there needs to be a balance between being realistic and having a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah. You know, you have your goals.
Yeah.
You have your stretch goal. You know, a little bit extra effort, I can get there. And then you have your big, hairy, audacious. Okay, if you don't hit that, at least you're going to hit your stretch goal. So always have those three levels.
But there's also, don't focus on that big, like I've heard other coaches say, you know, wake up every day and think about that big, hairy, audacious goal. That's overwhelming. Don't do that. Think about, okay, well, what's the next step I can take today?
Yeah, what is it if the power is going to go out? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we talk to our clients when they're overwhelmed and, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. Okay, well, imagine that the power is going to go out in an hour. You've been warned. It's going to go out in an hour. What is the one thing you absolutely must get done before you lose power?
You know, what's the highest and best use of your next hour?
Go do the thing.
And if it takes you an hour to figure out what it is, okay, then we need to chat a little. Go to howtogetttherefaster.com, book time with us, and we'll walk you through that.
I like it. Look, we got a lot of unpack to do. I know we're going to cut to a quick break for our ad for our sponsor. But when we return, I got some questions. I want to know about, the mentoring aspect and walking this thing through, because I feel that because of the economic shift that is happening, I think that people go to entrepreneurship as a default, and I think everybody should. I think you should have some type of independent source of inflow. I can argue it. I can prove it to you biblically. I think everybody should, but I also think that everybody, just because you do it, I would not label you as an entrepreneur.
So on the other side of the break, folks, you will hear the very first question we ask people that are going in for coaching on the CVMK show with Cody.
All right, we'll return. We'll be back with our very first question after a quick word from our sponsor.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
Oh, www.cvmkglobal.store. Do me a favor. Go there right now. Get the stack that you need. I mean, from protein to everything.
Put us on pause. Put us all on pause and go there.
Go there.
We'll still be here when you come back. Open another window. Go check it out.
and
we'll still be here.
That's it.
We'll wait. We'll just pause the show right here while y'all go.
Do it. It supports this. And then connect with us on social media, y'all. I want to hear you. I want to feel you. I want to know that you're real. Let us know, what you think. CVMK Global. All right. So you said the very first question, when somebody comes to you, Sharon and Hank, and they say, I think I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to sell candles, right? Whatever.
Elementalcandela.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful business.
Her and her mom were awesome. And I remember her website. This has been like a few years ago, but elementalcandela.com. They're down in Texas. So they're selling candles and stuff.
Yeah. So if they come and say, I want to sell candles, I know it can be successful in it. I want to sell Chicago candles. Every time you open it up, it's going to smell like Chicago, right? And
better than New York City.
Yeah, that's true. Right? But it's just, that's what they want to do. What do you tell them? What's the first thing you tell them?
What do you want your life to be like? Yeah, let's talk about what you want your life to be like. What is your big, hairy, audacious, what do you want your world to look like?
Well, not just the goal, but design the life. Paint for us a picture what you want life to look like. Because if we help you create this perfect candle business, and then you come back and go, well, this is great. You did what I asked you to do, but life sucks. I'm working a bazillion hours, and I have employees that are arguing, and then life sucks. So we start with, what do you want life to look like? Now let's create that candle business that will give you that life. We don't want to create the candle business and then hope that life will turn out the way you want it.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. All right. So let's say I want my life. I want to build a global juggernaut. I want over 10,000 employees. I want to be on Forbes. I want to be, the next Jeff Bezos. Then what do you say?
Go study under Jeff Bezos. go shadow him. Look, the reality is we had a mentor that he thought he wanted to be the next Richard Branson.
Okay. Virgin Mobile.
Right? And then he studied Richard Branson. Do you know that Richard Branson has over 400 lawsuits going at any one time against him personally?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so the guy that we were talking to that thought he wanted to be Richard Branson said, you know what? I can't handle that kind of stress. That Richard can handle that kind of stress, that's great, but that's not me. So if you want to be the next Jeff Bezos, go shadow Jeff Bezos, decide, is that really what you want? And what did he do to get there? Because those success steps they're right there. All you got to do is follow what he did.
and know that there's a little bit of luck in there too.
Yeah.
Skill and luck doesn't help. Look, there's the most well-known coach in the world is Tony Robbins, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to be the next Tony Robbins? Okay. Let's use Sharon and I as an example, right? We don't want to travel and be like him or Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy for a while was on stage 200 days a year.
Pre-COVID.
And
up to 80 years old.
Yeah. It's like
that.
we're
home buddies.
Sharon's an outgoing introvert.
I'm not outgoing. You're outgoing.
And I said an outgoing introvert. She channels her inner me. But yet, and for me, most of the time, being on stage is fun. But if Sharon's not having a good time, look, the first rule we had, create the life you want. If it doesn't work for our marriage, then it isn't going to work in our business.
Yeah.
Rule that the first thing we learned in COVID, our motto that year, get comfortable being uncomfortable. This didn't exist for us before COVID. We were on stage 20-something days a year for not ourselves, for someone else's groups, and then probably a dozen or so days a year for our own business doing boot camps. And that was fine. It worked because that meant we were at home, 10 months plus of the year. And that's great for us. We were in Sedona, Arizona, which if you're going to be stuck somewhere for COVID, I'm telling you, it's the best. But the second year that when we went into 2021, it's like, okay, we got comfortable being uncomfortable. If it doesn't bring us joy, we don't do it. Mm-hmm. And that's now our motto.
And that's a hard place to start, I will say. For an entrepreneur to start there, right? That's tough because you're hungry. You'll do anything. Like,
we're in
anyone that wants to hire you, you'll do it.
Yeah, we're now in year 29 of what started as my business and now it's our business. So So don't take compare your story in the first chapter to our 29th chapter. But we totally understand those folks that are in chapters behind us. And we're able to speed that up, which goes to your point. Coaching is really important. We've had some wonderful coaches, and we still use things that we learned years ago. Heck, when I was in my 20s, I was in a network marketing business. You might have heard of it, Amway.
Yeah, Amway.
Yeah. Soaps and all the rest of it. And I got into the business because I wanted to date my sponsor. So I had a very successful Amway business.
That was not me.
And I got to a point where it was making some money, but it's not all that exciting. But there are things I learned on the education side of the business that I still use now.
And teach our clients.
And we use, there's a little thing. We'll go into education for a second.
Sure.
When you're talking to somebody that you're doing some networking, the number one thing we hear is, I don't know how to keep the conversation going.
I don't know what to say.
What do I say? Is that, all right, everybody get out your pen, write this down. It's one word. Form, F-O-R-M. If you don't know what to ask somebody, F stands for family. And you start asking them questions about the family. Hey, how long have you lived in this area? What's your favorite part of living in this area? You have kids, you have pets, and you're finding things that you have in common. Next is O. What do you do? What's your occupation? Oh, really? Oh, cool. What's it like? How'd you get started in that? I bet 6-year-old Cody didn't want to do that.
No.
Yeah, 6-year-old Hank wanted to play left field for the Boston Red Sox. Then he got into high school, and a guy threw him three curveballs in a row for strikes. And I asked the umpire, what was that? And he goes, that's the end of your baseball career, son. So occupation. R, recreation. What do you do when you're not doing that? All those questions. You won't always get to the M, and that's the message. Because from all of your FOR questions, there might be a reason for you guys to connect.
Huh.
And that connection isn't always by my, can I say one bad word?
Sure.
the connection isn't always buy my shit. Stuff.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, just so you can edit it out later.
I appreciate
The connection isn't always buy my stuff. But he's not going to edit the show this weekend.
Yeah, I might not even edit it out. I'm going to be like, look, I was sick. I'm just
going to let that work out. And, but sometimes it is, oh, really? You work out a bunch? Do you have a hard time, recovering some days? Hey, I got this friend, his name's Cody, has this really amazing line of supplements. And all you have to do is go to cvmkglobal.store.
Yeah.
And you are going to see some incredible supplements that are going to help you get through that. No steroids in it, just all good. I watched your ad. All good stuff. And if you have questions, connect back with me, and I'll hook you up with Cody, and he'll answer all your questions, in a heartbeat.
That's true.
So that's the message part. Now, here's the cool thing.
Yeah.
If you connect that person with Cody, or you connect that person with somebody else, and they start talking, the only thing they have in common right away is you. And they're both going to end up edifying you because you help them, but each get a lead. So form. I learned that in the Amway business from a double diamond something. His name was Jim Floor. So there, I will still edify the heck out of Jim Floor. Of all the people I met in Amway, he was like the guy I wanted to be. He was the one that I related to the most because he was corporate, always showed up suit and tie, like sharp dress, and he was the one that I wasn't in his organization at all. But when he put out any kind of information, I was absorbing it because he was teaching corporate ease. And at the time I was in corporate America. So there you go.
I like it. That makes sense. So we talk about that, the connectivity point of it, right? And the education that needs to happen. And that's a huge part of it. Anyone that does not take the time to seek, because you'll find like a lot of the stuff that I have learned and am learning is because I just kept throwing it. I kept throwing darts at the wall, seeing if they would stick. Do
you enjoy learning from your mistakes, Cody?
I enjoy learning. I don't enjoy learning from my mistakes because my mistakes usually end up on my credit card bill. But I enjoy learning. I just hope other people made the mistakes for me, right? So
yeah.
But I enjoy the process of discovery. And when I find something that I've tried to do is not become a gatekeeper. Something that bothered me early on was I couldn't find anybody who would tell me things that were very simple, the difference between this trade show and that trade show, or wow. I'm not talking about like industry secrets. I'm talking about like, look, I'm just trying to get visibility, right? How do you do this? And literally, like, everybody was closed mouthed. And something I've tried to do with this show is I've tried to create a conversation so that just in case they don't run into the Sharons and the Hanks of the world, just in case they don't run into the Chris Broussards of the world, they're able still to kind of like patch something together, right?
It's hard, man.
It's hard. So for you, how big how should I say it? What are the toxins what are the toxins that are, to me, negatively affecting business coaching? Because to me, there's rare gems like you two that are open, transparent, willing to engage. And then there's a lot of social media clickbait that to me is dangerous.
But that's true of every industry, not just coaching.
If we were just trying to sell a workbook, and you see tons of them for $9.97, the magic number under $10, you can get our system that did something. Yeah, I mean, every day we see this stuff. Great. So now you're selling a product and you can do that. We have fun coaching small business owners. Like today we did a kickoff for a client who is starting her fifth year with us.
Yep.
Fifth year with us.
Fifth year in business, fifth year.
So we did her every year at the beginning. You get an extended coaching time. We did that, and we got off. And I asked Sharon, I go, "How you feeling?" She goes, "Rockin' life."
It's the best part.
And if we were just selling our system, okay, great. So now we're getting on social media and putting out ads, and okay, fine. Our business is fun when we get to talk to business people. We get to talk to you. That's what
brings us joy.
This is what brings us joy doing this stuff.
Yeah.
We used to do pre-COVID. We did 5 years every Tuesday. We were on
internet radio.
Yeah, internet radio station. 4:00 p.m. Pacific, and we had to be ready because the Van Halen music was going to start. And still, when I hear that song, it's like Pavlov's dog. I start, oh crap! I have 2 minutes to get ready to teach. And it was exciting for us because we had so much fun doing a podcast. That one training hour at least a week. And then we took we were taking a 3-month break. And we were going to come back.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit during that 3-month break, and we had to totally change what we do. So now our podcast is where all we do is interview small business owners for 7 minutes, 21 seconds, because July 21st is our anniversary.
Wow.
They have the questions in advance. They send us the questions back with their answers.
Yeah.
And what we're doing in that is we are training them to be on podcasts, because we know if we talk for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes at a time, and you don't get to feel like you're having
a conversation,
then that sucks for you. You're doing this because you want to learn, and you're learning from us this time.
Yeah.
But we've designed it so that once they've been on our podcast, they can now find you and say, hey, I'd like to be on your podcast. By the way, here's some questions you can ask me and the answers. So you can see that it's going to be a conversation. And we help people get on other podcasts. We're like the starter little podcast.
Hey,
we're where the guppies go. And but we had to train our clients. All of a sudden COVID hit, and we was like, okay, people are going to be at home. All of a sudden podcasts are going to explode. And they did.
And they did not, our clients did not want to get on podcasts.
None of them. They all went kicking and screaming. So we did, our first episodes were all with clients, and we were setting them up. And then our coaching calls were, all right, how many podcasts have you reached out to? What have been the answers? And we were teaching them how to do that.
And they can come on here because when I'm feeling great, I'm a lot funnier. I'm a lot more funny than this.
I find you to be a wonderful host who's engaging and intelligent and handsome as all hell.
I appreciate it, man. I
can't wait to put the video of this on our website.
You got it, man. I told my wife knows this. When I was a kid, born in the late 80s, right? And my parents love late night talk shows. So my dad loved Johnny Carson and Arsenio. My mom loved Arsenio, and then I don't it's hard to say Oprah. Yeah, David Letterman, okay, but Oprah, but it was Oprah really a late night. That's a debate, right? But but she loved, like, her people was Arsenio, Oprah. My dad was Johnny and Arsenio, and like I just love the way Johnny and Arsenio and Oprah, they commanded the stage, and then they had you on your seat for an hour, 2 hours, or whatever, right? So I always wanted to be that. I was like, how do you become a late night TV show? But then got older and went to school, and college debt kind of took the right. So I'll do that. But
there's only about 10 of those spots, unless you're gonna go total cable.
That's true. I said I would love to take Stephen Colbert's show just for a day.
Oh my God,
just a host for a day.
Is he not? Yeah. See, he's our favorite as well, and that just told me all sorts of things I didn't know about you that I need to, which is awesome. We just became much better friends, Cody.
I appreciate it. All right, so I got one. I know we got to cut the break soon, but I want to talk about what does to me, business, particularly small businesses, are the backbone of America, but the backbone really of the world. I always felt like, yeah, it's cool to have juggernauts, the Amazons of the world, you know, the trains of the world, the Walmarts of the world, but really economic shifters, when you think about improving neighborhoods and improving communities, to come from small business owners, right? So when we return, I want to talk about what does the government need to do in this next administration? Because
come on, seriously?
I'm saying, like,
that just depressed me, man.
Right, I know. We got to be serious. Like,
wait a minute. By the time this airs, we're going to be 3 months into it, folks. We're recording this in January.
He hasn't even gotten an office.
He hasn't even gotten an office yet.
I mean, he's making a mess.
And I mean, today we're recording this on the day he found out that he was a convicted felon.
When we return, what does government need to do to put small businesses back in business after this quick break?
No, that's real simple.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
Oh, www.cvmkglobal.store. I'm telling you, you do not want to.
Wait a minute. Wait. Put the product back. You didn't show the label. There we go. We saw the side of the can.
Oh,
there we are.
Right,
now tilt it a little bit this way, just a little bit. Get the light on. See, now the lighting is on it much better.
See, guys, there you go. Superpower. You're missing it. www.cvmkglobal.store.
cvmkglobal.store. You don't have to rush through it, man. In fact, here's the next lesson. You ready?
I'm ready.
Stop saying triple W. We get it. All of us. Okay. All right. All you have to do is go to cvmkglobal.store.
You'll need to emphasize the store so they don't go to .com.
It's really important. Do you own cvmkglobal.com?
Yes, I do. I own both.
Okay.
So there's a story. There's a story behind that one.
Yeah. We want to coach you a little bit here. Tell us why.
So when I first bought the domain, I didn't know anything about web hosting, servers, and I was like, I just need to get, a trademark. I just need to get my name and buy the name. So I bought the name almost 2 years almost 2 years before I had these products up and running.
Yeah, baby.
But the problem is, when I was building out, the business and, transferring domain rights, I didn't know any of that. I was sitting here, I was like, oh my God, I felt, and this is why I needed a business coach earlier. I felt intellectually stupid. That's like an oxymoronic, but I think it fits. I was like, man, I got this, I got an MBA and I don't even know how to transfer domain rights. It was bothering me so much. And a lot of times, instead of one of the mistakes, and I've said this on my earlier episodes, I said my pride was a huge mistake, I think, in the first 2 years, because you think but you've never done it. And just because you have some degree or whatnot, it doesn't validate you like you think it does, right? Mm-hmm. So after I ate some humble pie and I figured it out, and then I bought a second domain with cvmkglobal.store, I realized that even though, it should have been under .com originally, the great thing is, because my vision for CVMK goes beyond the supplements. When I do build those other parts, those business units out, CVMK.com will absorb. So It's just kind of like,
let's talk about this for a second, all right? Because we're not looking at your website. If when somebody finally remembers it's CVMK, and it's CVMK Global, most of the time they're just going to go to .com. We're all stupid that way. Whatever it is, we the last three letters of a website, our fingers all go COM. Yeah.
At least here in the U.S.
Yeah. if they're in Canada, it's .ca. So if we go there, are we going to be able to get to the store from there? Is there a link that goes from one to the other?
No, I need to put that link up. I need to do that.
I challenge you to do that. So everybody, here's the deal. This is going to come out in like February, March. And again, we're recording this. Remember the day that, what's his name, found out he's a felon. By then, Cody will have the link. And we're going to follow up with him on this. We're going to make sure that it happens. We're taking that responsibility for his business. Okay? So pause this video like right now and go look, cvmkglobal.com, and make sure you can get to the store. And while you're at the store, look up the Superpower product, because especially if you're lifting and such. So there. All right, welcome back, everybody. How'd it go? Congratulations, Cody. You got that link made. I'm so proud of you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Well
all right. So small businesses need.
He's gonna get off this, and his wife's gonna say, "How did it go?" And he goes, "I have work to do from a freaking guest. They're coaching me through this bullshit fucking stuff."
Oh man. All right. So capital, right? Capital is the lifeline of all businesses. There's never enough capital. I'm trying to figure that out real fast. How can whether it's state or it's federal, really put small businesses first, right? And get those engines going, because that's going to be the driver of change.
There are many ways.
Yeah,
there are lots of people that are willing to help, whether it's, if it's free. If you're looking for free help, you can go to SCORE. We talked about them before. They're part of the Small Business Administration. They'll funnel you to get a loan through the SBA if that's what you want, is a loan. We've never done that, but we know people that have.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a product, right? You tend to need more capital if it's a product than a service.
Right.
You watch, if you're any kind of an entrepreneur at all, you've watched like 30, 40, 50, 75 episodes of Shark Tank. And most of the time, what are you here for the money for? Well, we need product.
Yeah.
Quite often. So, yeah, don't go into an underfunded. And yeah, the Small Business Administration, at least right now, that's what they're doing. No promises. This will not change. But there
are also grants out there.
Yeah.
You'll find things local. Go to your local
chamber.
Yeah. Sure, but I wasn't thinking chamber. But yes, your local officials know how to get local grants. They know where to point you in the right direction for those local grants and loans if you need or want a loan.
That's true. You got your small business development, economic development community. So you have that. I will say the local grants are I don't know if they're the easier ones, but they're the most. You can get somebody on the phone, and you can usually get within, a first round consideration.
And it doesn't have to be government, though, either, Cody. I mean, I know that was your question, but it doesn't have to be government. There are other organizations. If you're a woman that's running a business, go to Hello Alice. They'll help you find grants having to do with your small, especially if you're a restaurant. Right now, when we're recording this, they're doing funding for restaurants. The Dell Corporation has mentorships for that as well. I don't mean for restaurants, I mean for small businesses.
Yeah.
There are resources out there.
No, definitely. And it just needs to be, I think, whatever side of the aisle, it needs to be really pushed. Like we know, you can spend 50% of your day for grant research, grant writing, grant application. I mean, literally it's a job to apply
Absolutely.
for, funding. But I think a lot of the times is I wish, and there are, but it goes back to money. I wish there were more. How do you say this? I wish there were more Sharon Hanks of the world that could say, "Hey, I know you think you know what you're doing, I know you think you got it right, but you're screwing up big time here. I want to help you. 9 o'clock Monday, call me.
But here's the thing, Cody. We give out a lot of free time. Yeah. A lot of people go to howtogettherefaster.com. They book time with us, and we'll hear their story. And we're on the phone. We don't do these on Zoom.
Yeah,
we do these on the phone, so Sharon and I can have a visual conversation while they're talking. And quite often we're hearing this. It's like, oh my God, they are so not ready. And they're so the question will come out, and if you go to howtogettherefaster.com and you hear one of us say, "Are you coachable?" We're about to lay down some really honest truth that they will probably either take to heart and run or not want to hear.
Yeah,
because this is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Yeah, having a job is hard.
Choose your hard.
Feel free. But what's the expression? If it were easy, everybody would do it. And if everybody could throw a 98 mile an hour fastball, and with an 80 mile an hour curve, yeah. And if you're left-handed, you pitch even longer. But not everybody can.
Well, we wouldn't. Our culture would not survive if everybody was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right? We need someone that's going to, when we want to go out to eat, we need someone that's going to be willing to cook and serve and clean.
That's true.
There's a hell of a lot of dignity in jobs, man. My dad was a pharmacist for years and years and years. And
we need those
my
people.
mom was a special ed teacher who always had side hustles of, jewelry and purses and stuff.
But we need those teachers.
Yeah. But
right, if every teacher wanted to be an entrepreneur and was successful at being an entrepreneur, who would teach our kids? Aren't we going to homeschool everybody? And when do you have time to be an entrepreneur if you're busy homeschooling because the teachers are being an entrepreneur?
Look, my dad always took a 6th day at another pharmacy.
Yeah.
Look, my parents worked their tails off.
Yeah.
So that my sister and I could have a better life. They worked hard. And they also set an amazing example for me. They were high school sweethearts. They were together over 50 years. So my mom passed. My dad never took off his wedding ring for the next 11 years of his life.
Yeah.
I had advantages.
I lucked out in the in-law department.
I did too on my mother-in-law's side. Dad's a dick. But we understand that, I had advantages, but we've started our businesses and we've now been through 3 recessions, a 4th one to come, just saying. Tariffs screw up an economy, man. I'm just saying. I'll say that now. I'll say it now, and I know I'll be right. I have one of my degrees is in economics. I know it's coming. Oh, kill me. But you're never going to work harder than you do for yourself.
True.
But it's also more rewarding than working for somebody else.
Absolutely. I get to work with my best friend every day. We don't have that "how was your day, dear" conversation when we came. Does your wife have a job outside the house?
She does. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're still having that "how's your day" conversation. Yeah.
Every day she comes home. "How was your day, dear?"
Yeah.
My desk is like right over there, and Sharon's is here, and we have some baffling here in our studio, and we each know how our day is going by the number of times we hear each other swear. Like just before we came on, Sharon was having a hard time getting the link and so I heard several choice swear words. It was delightful that I'm over there. I'm working on a slide deck for a client, and I'm just thinking I am just going to shut myself up, not ask her if I can be of help because
sorry, Jared.
Sorry, babe.
It just turned out it wasn't me. That's all right. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I thought I lost it.
But we spend our days together. We don't have to ask our bosses, "Hey, babe, can I have like a certain day?" Yeah, she always says yes. Today we knocked off at 3 something because we had to take a couple cats to the vet. All right, no problem. Box them up and take them. It's our business. So we realize that there's a lot of freedom in having your own business, but yet we're here at almost 8 o'clock recording this with you, 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. But we're glad to. Again, we're doing it together. So we'll get off and we'll both say, wow, that was really awesome. We like Cody. We'd be on his show again. We got it. In fact, you have to come on ours. We'll have fun. So we can promote. We'll promote the products. And you'll never hear us say WWW.
So we're going to do it after you get over the flu.
Yeah, we're not going to do it this weekend.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I wouldn't be any good right now.
Oh my gosh. I think you'd be great.
Good, but you'll be great.
We want great Cody. So here's the question. Does your wife ever come on and do like the show with you?
She does. So my wife has been on a few episodes. My wife is super, super shy. She reminds me of my grandmother. So my parents worked to really provide a better life for my brother and I. They moved us out of the city of Chicago, moved us to the suburbs. But that cost of it all. So they spent a lot of time working. So my grandparents basically had us, right? And they lived out there too. And,
oh my God! You had family ties.
Yeah,
and a stronger family because of it. Isn't that amazing?
It is. So
and not everybody has that. So. I've often said, my God, that guy's story was so hard. I wish I had a harder childhood. No, I don't.
No, I
always knew my parents had my back.
Yeah.
I never, ever, ever felt my parents weren't my biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that way. And some, helps to be lucky. I paid my own way through college, but they were there if I ever faltered. But the support system you've got to have around you is really important. And going back to it, sometimes it's hiring a coach, getting a coach.
That's true.
I still have one of my best friends in business in Los Angeles. He owns he plays Monopoly. He has several blocks. He's like, I think his family has 20 different commercial buildings.
Oh wow.
He's like I think he's pretty close to a 3 comma guy, but you'd never know it when you meet him or talk to him or whatever. And I had a question about a couple of acres near our house, and I said, "Look, this is what we're thinking of buying. What do you think?" And I thought I'd get a few sentences back. I had this 500-word beware of this, and there could be this. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'll say it's Ricky Gelb of Gelb Enterprise in Los Angeles. He's one of those guys that he owns commercial buildings and he doesn't charge for parking in his buildings because his comment is
even in Los Angeles.
Yeah, even in Los Angeles, my tenants have a hard enough time making money. Why do I want to make it one step harder? He's just that kind of a giving human being, and I've had a lot of mentors like that. What would Ricky do in this situation? What would Richard Lehner have done in this situation? What would Melody LeBlanc do in this situation? So now in this case, I was in a chamber of commerce in Los Angeles, and I met all three of those people through the chamber, and we were on the board together in it. But there are still people that I have met and stayed in contact with forever, because I can ask them questions, and I'll get a question from them every now and then, about marketing or sales, or Sharon will get an HR question. So when you're looking for that mentor situation, if you bring something to the dance, it helps.
For sure.
If I have a question about a supplement, I know I can ask Cody.
Oh my God,
I got a guy.
I got a guy. I'm your guy. I love it. Well, look, you guys have been.
Who are your products? What's your target demo? What's the age range that you're targeting?
So that's been interesting. So the age range from our analytics is we're heavy in that 25 to 34.
Cool.
Column.
Okay, they were in your video. Excellent.
They're in the
video. Because if you had said guys like you, Hank, and you're I would say, all right, we got to put different people in there.
That's true. Now, what's interesting enough, it's actually predominantly in the 60-40 females, like women. Like it's not a male.
Okay.
Thought. I mean, like it is still, you know, but it's not 50-50. It's 60-40 the other way.
In our house, if supplements are used, she's buying them.
Yeah. And so I didn't, you know, you don't know until you get into the business and you realize like, wow, my consumer, my customer, you know, I got to consider like, what does she want? How does the product have to be packaged and designed? And there's just a lot of different things to, you know, factor in. And at the same token, also, and this is something that is big with me, I want my products to look like the people who use them, you know. So you know, pushing that has also been huge, you know. So I believe in that. I believe in the inclusion aspect of it. Like I believe, like, look, you know, if people are supporting you and you know they like this, do this, you know, that should be somehow represented in your framework, right? Like it's a non-brainer. It's really not that, you know. So, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting unlearning bad habits. So the biggest takeaway I took away from 2024 is I unlearned a lot of bad habits in leadership, and everything. You know, my wife has been my biggest partner in, you know, thinking, how does this look? How does this feel? What is the messaging? And when you see it, you know, what does it, you know, mean to you? Because the less I can, you know, the less of me that's in it, it seems like it just does better. It goes better. Right.
So for the voiceover on your ads.
Yeah. That needs to
woman.
No, yeah, that needs to change. I know that. Yeah. We're working on it.
I'm trying to give you a little bit of coaching, just trying to help a little, you know.
Look, 2025, you're going to see a lot more content. If you go to the Instagram page, you will see all the new stuff that's an older ad. But you're going to see a lot of great things. It's just, you know,
hey, things evolve, man. It's always
an evolution.
Look, things evolve. Look, one of our books, and in fact, I'm going to send you this one because it's called Partners in Everything.
Okay.
Your couple's guide to running a successful business without running your life. That book came about because we were in a mastermind group where we all kind of coach each other. And at the end of the first day, to be in this group, you have to make a certain percentage of your money speaking, or you have to be an author or a coach. I mean, somewhere in that world.
Yeah.
The end of the first day, everybody exchange books, one of your books with somebody else. And we all did that. And I gave mine to Dan Janelle, who's up in Minnesota. And his gig is he helps people write their first book. So we're not his target audience. He comes down the next day and he goes, wow, I read your book last night. I'm like, I didn't crack yours open, man. And he goes, you and Sharon ought to write a book about people that work together. And it took me about 4 seconds. At first I was like, well, that's a stupid idea. Because we had written, you know, marketing, sales. I thought, oh, wait, a specific audience. And that's one of our target audiences. Wow, what a great idea. Dummy. And Partners in Everything came out because of mutual mentoring. Then when it's time for the next book, it's like, okay, we're looking at our audience. What are they? They're all overwhelmed or overthinking. So here's your guide for overwhelmed and overthinking entrepreneurs. You're thinking you'd like this, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, this will be in your inbox tonight.
I appreciate it.
In fact, we're gonna send you both because just in case you and your sweetie, you know, want to see what it's like to work together. We interviewed a dozen other couples because how we run our business doesn't necessarily, however, you know,
it works for us. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
You might be interested to see how other people do the same thing.
But the universe talked to us.
Sure.
Interesting. When you hear the universe coding and it's giving you messages, you hear it once, twice, 3 times. Within 3 times in a week from 3 different people, we realized we need to do a second edition of this one. So our next book is going to be Partners in Everything 2, because I don't want to buy yet another URL for another title. And we've gotten really good at listening to the universe and what it says.
Sure. See, if your lovely lady wants to join you in the business, you guys could get interviewed for the second edition.
Like, if you knew we were going to be on, this would have been a great addition. You could have, a great way for you to have your wife come on. Babe, just come on because it'll be cool for two on two. It's how you slowly get her into the business.
She's here. I mean, look, it's up to her. I mean, I'm literally staring dead at her. But I mean, trust me, she's in every episode.
Room? Wait, she's in the room?
Like, if you ever see...
Wait, what's her name?
Any of my episodes and I turn to like this.
Wait a minute. Like Cody, what's her name?
Her name is April.
Hey, April? Yes. April, I know you're in the room. Come say hi.
Hello.
Oh, please, come on. We won't bite much. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, yay, April! Yay!
See,
April,
she's here.
Thanks for support. Thanks for being the wind in the sails, man. And we spell it SALES, the sales of the product.
Literally. No, but she's absolutely amazing. But no, there will be a day soon where I really believe I'll be able to say this is what we do. Yep. And it's everything and beyond the revenue, beyond people gaining muscle, losing weight, beyond all that, the fact that I can work with her is the best part of it, right? So
I'm telling you now, you are so right.
That's the goal.
It is the absolute best. When Sharon and I, like some chamber event, if one of us goes and the other isn't there, where's Sharon?
Or where's Hank?
Or where's Hank? It's like, what am I, chopped liver? Whichever. They expect us to be there again.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm going to teach you something right now that's really important for future Cody and April. Okay.
All right.
We were invited to be on a TV show. Actually, I was invited, and I said, "Yeah, Sharon and I will be there at this time." And we're talking to Lily. Goes, "Okay, you should be there at da 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 da. Like you, Hank, should be there." It's like, "Well, Sharon and I will be there together, right?" I said, "Well, if that's the case, on your first two books, why is it only you on the cover, dumbass?" He's been trying to get me to do this in coaching and learn this. So, in our sales book, social media book, marketing book, HR book, which Sharon wrote 99% of, I really shouldn't even be on the cover. and all of them, we've started to brand. So once she's in there, make sure that everything is changed so that it's both of you showing up. When you're interviewed about the product, you both show up.
Yeah.
It's really important because it's now your family helping somebody else's family.
And she's still listening, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's listening. Trust me. I see her over there.
So here's the thing. Doing video is not my favorite thing either. I totally get it. I did a video every single day for a whole year just so I could get comfortable sitting here in this chair being on video. Now, I don't wake up in the morning going, oh, goody, we get to be on video. No. I also don't get up in the morning going, oh, crap, I'm going to dread this. I have to wait until 7 p.m. and then I'm going to be on video. No, it's just one of the things that has to get done today.
But yet, when we're we do a Monday mastermind for our coaching clients. Like every Monday, 3 p.m., we're there. Even on like Labor Day and all the rest, Mondays at 3. And there's no dread at all for that because we're just coaching. So there's no dread there. So it's just a particular kind of video that she does or doesn't like. We used to do
that's not really video. That's like sitting around the conference table.
Our boot camps used to be 2.5 days, and they were like, oh, I couldn't wait. Now they are 1 day.
Yeah.
That's called marriage negotiations. Marriage more important than the business. Hank, it's going to be a 1-day boot camp. Screw your 2.5 days. So, but babe, now there are rationalizations as to why you do 2.5 days, depending on the product that you are selling.
But things have changed since COVID.
Things have changed. And if, by the way, folks, if you're building a coaching thing and you want to talk about that, reach out to us, howtogettherefaster.com. I will tell you the story of how I learned that you have to put them to bed twice.
That's it. Well, look, this has been an amazing time connected with Sharon and Hank Yuloof. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Guys, where can I know you mentioned it, how to get there faster.com.
Yep. That's our schedule link.
That's their schedule link. How important is it for them to go there now? Schedule some time and get this thing going.
It isn't important for them unless they want to succeed. Look, here, I'll tell you this. We're not sending them to a sales call. All right. Here's our sales pitch. Ready? Hey, if you want to talk about coaching, you should go to companymarketingplan.com. There's our coaching program. Now that I've given you the link, they can go see what the investment is for the year at Company Marketing Plan. They'd know that before they even schedule time. We're not.
The time is always, how can we best help you today? Yeah. That's the question.
It'll be about 29 and a half minutes of
what do you need?
What do you need today? And when you go to that link, it's going to ask you a couple of questions so that we can be ready for you. We'll have looked at your website by then, and
if you have one, and if that's what you want.
Yeah.
It all comes back to what it is that you want. And we always ask, how can we best help you today? Because what you put into that form when you schedule time with us, by the time we actually have a conversation, what you need might have changed.
Mm-hmm.
So we do like to be prepared, but we also are able to be flexible enough so that if what you need is not what you actually said, I know I said this, but now this whole thing blew up and now I have this issue. Let's talk about that issue. We don't have to talk about what it was you put in there, but at least it gave us a place to start.
So that's it. By the way, if you want one of our books, you can send us an email. It's info at then our name Yuloof Creative. We're on all Yuloof Creative on all the social media. It's all the same. Track us down. Let us know. Here, we'll send you whichever one of our books you like. However, when you tell us and give us a book report on more than one episode,
so not just this
you have to watch another episode from Cody, or 2 or 3. For as many episodes as you watch, and give us like a 2-sentence summary of what you learned on that episode, we'll send you one of our books for free for each one you watch. So now you've got a reason to get more business intelligence from Cody and his guests, and you're going to get the bonus. We'll send you one of our books for everyone, and we've got 8 of them, including the very first 49 stupid things people do with business cards and how to fix them, which is all sorts of fun.
Yeah.
So that's it. And this goes out in March.
Yeah.
All right. Don't know. Our next marketing boot camp will be in March, so I don't know if we'll.
But we don't know the dates yet.
Yeah, so I can't even give it to you. You can try. You can go to planyourmarketing.com, and that'll be the free link. If you want a free ticket, you can go to planyourmarketing.com.
Just because you found us through Cody.
Yeah.
And at some point, those dates will be there.
We won't send you the link where you have to invest money. We'll just send you the free one because
you're here.
Because I remember that URL so much easier.
Planyourmarketing.com.
Yeah.
God,
by the way, Cody, you and I need to chat because we have to find you some URLs that'll be more memorable for everybody.
That's true. That's true. I read Jamie Horvitz's book, and he said like his original name wasn't acquisitions.com. It was like some long. He said, I spent a bunch of money trying to get this URL. So
the reason this is Partners in Everything, we had 3 titles, and partnersineverything.com was the only URL of the 3 that was available. Yes, that's it. That's sometimes it's just the way it works. And I'm a bit of a URL-aholic.
We've
only got we're now under 400 of them because I made a promise to my wife.
There's a lot of URLs. Guys, go to planyourmarketing.com. Register at the link, get the books, hit them up on social media, hit Sharon.
Watch other episodes of Cody and get the book.
That's it. And if you want to keep seeing amazing people like we have on today, you know what you got to do. YouTube, subscribe today, CVMK. 1 word, 4 letters on YouTube. I just got a report. We have put out 1,000 videos. Woo! 1,000 videos going down.
Yeah, by the way, this is for your dad. This is for your dad, your mom, and your dad, right?
That's it. It's
the Arsenio, pump it up.
Let's do it. More. We want to get those numbers up. CVMK Global. I took the WW off for you guys. CVMKglobal.store. Go there.
Look at that. He takes instant action. Well, that's what we love about you, man.
Social media at CVMK.
Hey, brother, you're proud of this, man.
See, connect with us. Let me know you're out there. And thank you guys for listening. Until next time, guys. Thanks.